Kripitz on drums. Okay, now I'm honored to introduce, let me tell you, 4 years ago, Jeffrey and Jennifer were here, and they were staying at my house, and they just become delightful friends. They are the nicest people in the world. And all of a sudden, like in the morning, there was all this activity, and Jennifer had to go and buy a plane ticket and go to Washington, D.C. on an emergency to play President Obama's inaugural ball. How do you like that? So, just to show that she isn't, she's bipartisan, 4 years before that, before I know her, she played Bush's inaugural ball. And so here she is, they come down, they're in such demand that Jeffrey plays all over the world. He played this year at the Royal Albert Hall, the London Palladium. All right. With Buddy Rich's daughter got together, the Buddy Rich band, and he played with all the famous drummers of the world over there. Dave Weckl, Ginger Baker, Ian Pay. All right, so that's what he does, gigs like that. So Jennifer as well plays with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I don't even know what the hell that is. That's too big for me. But anyway, she's in demand also as a side person out there in Chicago and all over. But she also leads a band. Now, as you can see, she's gorgeous. She used to be a cheerleader, or not a cheerleader, but a dancer for the Milwaukee Bucks professional NBA. Right? And she is a businesswoman as well as the greatest violinist you'll ever hear. She has a band called the Cover Girls, the Cover Girls Violin Show. And now, here they are down here, that it's 3 or 4 or 5 girls that all look as gorgeous as she and all play as good as she. And here she comes down to get away from the stress of doing all these gigs up there in Chicago. Guess where she was last night? She had to fly back to Chicago, emergency, to do a Cover Girls gig. So she flew all night to get back here, played at the Gardens Hotel. Have a nice round of applause for Jeff Lowe, ladies and gentlemen. on, baby. She's in demand.
Wow. Thank you, everybody. And I'm having Diet Coke to stay awake. So, oh my gosh, what fun. Thank you, Larry. You read the bio I sent you. Anywho, so happy to be here. I'm actually sad that, but as Larry said, Jeff and I have been here actually a week already, and this is our favorite place in Key West here at the Pier House at Wine Galley with Larry. And I'm really sad that this is the very first night I've been out to see everyone, and it's, anyway, so happy to be here, finally, and looking forward to playing the record. I don't know where he went. There he is. Larry! So like you said, my CoverGirls show last night got added on at the last minute to a big wedding in Chicago, and I got the phone call that they wanted to book it, and I'm like, you know, anybody get a vacation? And anyway, so I checked my miles, and I had enough to go home to Chicago and back for free, so it made it worth it to
Yay. Yeah.
Free's good. Free's good. Okay. What are we doing?
How about Hotel California?
Oh, that's
That's a news. You know, that's about.
You can count it off.
a show of somebody singing harmonies. That's awesome. All right, Larry, what are we doing now?
You know what? I'd like to join that band. Is that possible?
You gotta get a wig.
Why not?
You need a long blonde wig, Larry.
Me and Gina Maserati.
Some fake eyelashes. You see, it was dark.
We do Can't Find My Middle? Yeah. This is one of the first songs I put in this collection when I, well, there's maybe a story for later in the set, for when I went AWOL from the classical world, shall we say? Went rogue, yeah. Anyway, so this is one of my favorite all-time songs. This is just a book of songs that make me happy, so that's what we're here to play tonight.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah.
The first one's on here. It's like, How do you like Jennifer Lowe? She was a lion or what, man?
How about Larry and the band?
Just call me the cover boy.
Cover boy. Can I get some? Can we have this one up? Would you have it good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Everybody should sing along on this one.
Song written by a buddy of mine, actually, Gary Bonner. He used to go fishing up there in the Catskills. Remember Gary Bonner, Chris?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kathleen? Oh, you guys want to sing?
They can sing
Yeah, what is it?
Happy Together.
Happy Together.
Well, we don't know that they know the key. Sing along over there, and it's just in your key. Come on up and sing.
A minor?
It's not really a sing-along.
It's up to you guys.
You guys sing.
Song made famous by the Turtles, baby.
So we're always going to do two ways. Leave the charge wrong.
No matter what. A-A-B.
No matter what. Yeah, sorry.
And then just the right out.
Guys were Flo and Eddie. So this guy must have just had to write the song. Yeah? Flo and Eddie.
Oh.
to that one, Larry. You should have had him singing it. 67, 16. Steve knew all the words.
I lost my list. Where's our list?
Not really, I played it.
If he could sing, we would be in.
Yes, we should.
Yes, we should. Okay, this is the one that goes in the break. You go for break.
Damn, you can sing. I remember this.
How do you like Skipper Kripitz on drums? Jeffrey Lowe. That's Mr. Jennifer Lowe right there. Mr. Jennifer Lowe.
I'm taller now.
And how about Mr. Larry Smith?
Oh, yes. Sweet Child.
Oh, yeah.
Casey, I see you there.
Listen, me and Austin.
Yeah, Riley's not used to humidity.
Oh, yeah. You didn't look at the summer as far as the strength. You can zoom it now.
Thanks.
Walk on the wild side.
Another
So is he dead or he did?
another use, ladies and gentlemen, for duct tape. Duct tape.
C-O-E-D. Yeah, that's, he can't breathe.
Yes, you do. before their...
The
Can I tell a personal story, or do we have to keep it up?
No, no personal stories. I never ask people. All right, I'll make an exception to the rule. Go ahead and say something.
Say something, okay. I was thinking about this tonight, and I'm like, oh gosh, why do I not tell all the same stories I told last year? So, anyway, I think we've all probably had times in our life where things happen, and these things are not pleasant, and we don't ever necessarily know while we're in them why they were supposed to happen. But this is one of those times where I can honestly look back and say, I now know why I had to go through one of the most difficult times. Being classically trained, I had this whole sort of lifestyle ingrained in me. And even though I grew up listening, these are the songs I grew up listening to and loving and wanting to, sing in the car instead of, you leave an orchestra concert, you don't turn on the classical station, you turn on, XRT in Chicago, which is, rock. And anyway, so one year, and this was like 2008, in the middle of a classical concert, and all of a sudden, everything just starts going yellow. You know that feeling when you think you're just going to tip over? And the heart starts racing, and I can't breathe, and I'm sweating, and I'm going to jump out of my skin, and I'm going to fall off my chair, and I'm going to embarrass myself in front of an entire auditorium full of people. So I got up, and I took my purse, and I left the stage in the middle of a symphonic work, which never happened, and laid down, and they had to call the paramedics because my heart was racing. They came, and it all kind of reset itself. Everything was fine, so we still don't really actually know what happened. But after that point, I could no longer go out on a classical stage without having an anxiety attack.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that became very, very, very threatening and devastating and frightening and all the things that come with, this is what you do for a living, and now all of a sudden I'm out there and you don't know when it's going to come and I don't know how to stop it, and then I have to, so I stopped, anyway. So, long story short, after 3 years of kind of working through all of that, I started realizing that, long story short, I said that, that there was a piece of the classical thing in me that was all about perfection, and it wasn't about fun. And there was something that happened to me on that stage that day where just a little neural pathway just blew a fuse. It was like, enough of this, and my body just sort of shut down, and it refused to play classical music sort of after that without sending me into this kind of tailspin. So, as it turns out, I have this guitar player. So rather than playing in front of hundreds of people where everyone's listening, I decided to play in front of hundreds of people where no one is listening, and started playing for cocktail parties. And sort of found my niche, and with a guitar player we put together this book of songs, and I've never looked back, and I've never been happier, and this is what makes my heart sing.
Bravo!
I get that anxiety every time I come here and see my wife and my boss, Kathleen.
As it should be.
You should.
Come to Austin.
You got that right, baby.
Let's do White Rabbit. Yes. She's a hippie chick too, I think.
We're practicing this week, and we're going to call this Fiddlestock tonight.
Fiddlestock, baby.
Wow.
Okay. I'll let you say it.
Yeah. Good story. It is.
Not a stretch.
surprise you. Would you mind doing would you mind letting Christine Cordone come up here and sing a song? And I'd like to hear the violin solo in this song. I'd like to ask Christine to come up and do a Leonard Cohen song for me.
All right.
Take that mic up there because this one's a real short.
Right here?
Yeah.
They both love us.
How do you like Jennifer Lowe?
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm so speechless. Fabulous.
This is going to be the greatest violin solo in the world, I think.
Sorry, I've never heard this song.
It's 4 in the morning, the 1st of December. I'm writing you now, and I hope you feel better. 'Cause New York is cold, and I like where I'm living. There's music on Clinton Street all through the evening. I heard that you're building your little house in the desert, and you're living on nothing now. I hope you're keeping some kind of a record.
Showcase. Nice to have you here. Man, it's a really high period of musical creativity for me right now. I just produced and played on with Jeffrey and Skipper Alex Okenzik's record this week. We did the basic tracks. Alex, stand up and take a bow. We recorded in the San Carlos, and we did all of the, I think, 12 of Alex's songs. We brought in Jeffrey from Chicago, and we brought Skipper in all the way from Olivia Street. Tonight, I'll introduce our guest in a minute, but I'd like to remind you of an upcoming event that's very special to me. I played with Dan Brubeck for about 7 years up there in New York City, and then in the Catskill Mountains in Woodstock, along with Christine. Actually, Christine played with Dan more than I did, but anyway, Dan played on a record of mine, and we always had a really beautiful relationship, and not only musical and collaborative in an artistic way, but just as friends. And I came down here and kind of left the real world behind. He had still continued to perform with his father quite a bit, and with his brother. They have a band called the Brubeck Brothers Quartet, and that band has been very successful this past year in releasing a record called Lifetimes that has gotten superlative critical acclaim, and we just reunited, and just tragically, or not tragically, because Dave lived to be one day shy of his 92nd birthday. Dave died about 5 weeks ago. Yeah, and so we decided to do this reunion, and Dan said, no, we're going to still do it. He's coming down, and he's going to be playing. And since he is the son of Dave, who is such a remarkable force in the world of music, all music, and jazz especially, we're going to do a little tribute to him when we were down here. We're going to do a couple of Dave songs and this and that. So that is next Monday and Tuesday, not tomorrow and Tuesday, but 1 week from tomorrow and 1 week from Tuesday. It's on February 4th and 5th. It is a dinner jazz concert. You come here and you have a 3-course tapas meal and wine accompaniment, and
a champagne and hors d'oeuvre reception.
And a champagne and hors d'oeuvre reception.
Yeah!
And Christine Cordone and Kathleen Peace will be making an appearance. And I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say this anyway. I invited, in 1971,
well,